Today on the podcast, Universal Studios' latest construction wall update has sparked some wild speculation. Are they really teasing 3 iconic franchises to replace Rip Ride Rockit? And Sonic the Hedgehog is finally speeding towards theme parks, with Sega confirming they're working on multiple immersive attractions for all over the world, including a big focus on the United States. Where exactly is Sonic going to end up? I will let you know. Plus, a brand new Terminator experience is set to launch all over the world. And Art the Clown officially hacks his way into Halloween Horror Nights. Then, in our Express Lane segment, I've got tons of Halloween and Christmas season news for you. All that and more coming up on today's episode. So sit back and enjoy the ride. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of A Theme Pahk Podcast. I'm your host, Frankie Screams, back with you for episode number 11 of the show. Yes, that is right. We just celebrated 10 episodes last week, and I have to say, the YouTube algorithm gods have given us a little gift to celebrate hitting 10 episodes. That is because episode number 10 of the podcast actually hit the algorithm a little bit, and we are over 2,000 views of the podcast. Now, of course, I'm not stupid. I understand that doesn't mean 2,000 people watched the entire episode, but we did pick up quite a few subscribers off of that episode. We are now over 250 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and the podcast platforms are also seeing an increase as well. So, like I said last week, the podcast continues to grow as I get a spam phone call. Let me just cancel that. The podcast is continuing to grow. We're growing a little bit faster this week than usual. I'll take it. I have no complaints. Just really thankful for people tuning in, people hitting that subscribe button. I've got another super interesting episode for you guys today. I really do my best to try to search the internet far and wide all week long to get the best stories possible to cover on the show. And I also did want to quickly mention for all those new listeners out there, this is a brand new show. I'm a brand new podcaster. I've never podcasted a day in my life. I've been listening to podcasts for like 15 years, but I've never had my own show. So bear with me as the show comes together. We're figuring out what we like, what we don't like. The show is going to be changing pretty much all the time until we really find our groove and find what we like best. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight to the featured stories today. I've got 4 of them for you. Then we're going to jump into the Express Lane segment, and I've got some other things as well for you. But let's dive right into these featured stories with story number 1. All right, Universal fans, grab your tinfoil hats because the speculation machine is running wild again. Over at Universal Studios Florida, new signage has popped up around the Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit construction walls, and it's sending fans into full detective mode. These signs aren't just your basic pardon our pixie dust style walls. We're talking spray-painted stencils, fake civic notices, and references to multiple iconic franchises, including Fast and Furious, Ghostbusters, and Back to the Future. Some of this new signage says, "Better roads for a better future," which fans immediately clocked as a Back to the Future reference.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
There's also a 213 area code, which could point to Los Angeles, the home of Dom and the Fast and Furious crew. That's especially interesting considering the rumors about Orlando getting its own version of the fast-themed coaster Hollywood Drift. There's also strong speculation about Ghostbusters, especially given the location. The current Rip Ride coaster track runs through what used to be the Ghostbusters firehouse facade, a fan favorite backdrop that once served as the entrance to the Ghostbusters Spooktacular show. In fact, signage spotted a month ago referenced restoration efforts for the historic Engine 89 firehouse, tying directly back to that Ghostbusters history. Now, Rip Ride Rocket doesn't officially close until August 18th, but construction is clearly underway already. Permits point to a new 2-story building in what's rumored to be a multi-launch coaster from Intamin. But as for the theme, Universal's not talking quite yet. So, are these signs legit clues, or is it Universal just playing with us? Either way, it's working because fans are all in on figuring out what's next. There you have it. All right, guys, so what does this all mean? Could we possibly be getting all 3 of those IPs coming to Universal Studios in the near future? Now, I did mention Universal could just be playing with us, but I really, really would like to think that they would never do something like that to us. I would really like to think that they wouldn't get our hopes up that much. They know how we look into these things. And the fact that they added 2 more hints on these construction walls after they seen the way fans reacted to just 1 hint about Ghostbusters, that makes me think they purposely did that because they really want to get us excited and they want to get us talking about these things. It's almost like they secretly want us to know that they hear the fans, they know Ghostbusters and Back to the Future have huge fan bases, and they want to let those fans know, hey guys, we hear you. We know you really want these IPs in the park. Just hang with us a bit. It's coming soon. That's kind of the vibe that I get from those teases. Now, I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm brand new to covering theme parks super close up like this, so I've never really paid attention to the way Universal likes to tease things, but I really would hope they wouldn't mess with our emotions like that. What if when they take down Rip Ride Rocket, that whole area opens up room for 2 brand new attractions? Just bear with me for a second, all right? This is the first time I've done this on the podcast where I kind of give my own ideas of what we can do with the parks here. Let's say they take down Rip Ride Rocket, they get rid of that big building for Jimmy Fallon, and now you've got room for a coaster and then a smaller Ghostbusters type of like dark ride. Now, I'm just speculating. I'm not one of those crazy pros that looks at the map and looks at Google Earth and can tell you that this is for a fact not ever going to happen. Most likely it probably won't. I just wanted to give you some cool ideas that I was thinking. And then the second part of my idea is you take the San Fran area of Universal Studios and you completely rebrand it, okay? Right now, the only ride in San Fran is the Fast and Furious ride. We're getting rid of that ride anyway, right? Like, God, I hope so. Especially if we get this new Fast and Furious coaster. We get the new Fast coaster, get rid of the Fast and Furious ride in San Fran, retheme San Fran as a mini Back to the Future land. Call it Hill Valley, which is the fictional town that Back to the Future is based out of, and put a Back to the Future experience, ride, show, something in that area. Of course, this is all just my quick ideas I'm putting together. I'm not a pro. I'm not a seasoned vet. I'm not an expert at predicting the future of theme parks. This is just something that I sort of put together, and I think it's a concept that you can work off of, right? I mean, obviously, I'm probably not hitting the nail on the head with this, but I could be close, right? I could be close. What if they really are getting rid of that Jimmy Fallon ride to make room for some sort of new Ghostbusters or even a Back to the Future ride there? This is all just speculation on my part, but it is fun to talk about, and I thought it would be a little bit different this week to start off breaking down some unique ideas that I thought of. And I know these aren't groundbreaking ideas. I'm sure there are people out there who are going to be doing a much better job at predicting the future, but I wanted to get the conversation started now. So you guys drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think is coming to the Universal Studios parks in the future. And before I wrap up, I just want to say one more time, I really don't think Universal Studios would tease those IPs on those particular construction walls if they didn't want to get our hopes up, if they didn't want to, send a quick little wink at us and let us know, hey, we hear you guys, we see you guys, just hang tight for us, we've got something coming. That's what I think. I could be wrong. We'll have to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if my speculation is absolutely stupid and bizarre. You guys could roast me in the comments if you want. Or maybe you think they're good ideas. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. But that will do it for story number 1. Story number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog is speeding towards theme parks. Finally, I'm talking about actual Sonic-themed attractions coming to the US, Europe, Japan, and South America. And it's being talked about seriously this time. This all comes from an interview with Roberta Perry, who's been working on location-based entertainment projects, like helping bring Super Nintendo World and How to Train Your Dragon to life at Epic Universe. So, when she says a lot of Sonic is coming, it's worth paying attention to. Now, this isn't the first time Sega has floated the idea of theme park expansions. Way back in 2016, pre-Sonic movie boom, Sega's then CEO talked about wanting to expand into indoor theme parks and location-based attractions. But now, with the Sonic movies blowing up and a fourth one on the way in 2027, it feels like they're finally ready to go full throttle with Sonic. So what kind of experiences are we talking about? That is still under wraps. But Perry mentioned this will be Sega's first real move into the US market for themed attractions. And she specifically said lots of Sonic. So it sounds like Sonic will be the flagship IP for whatever these experiences turn into. Whether that's a full-blown park, a Sonic Land inside of an existing park, or even something smaller like a themed indoor attraction or immersive arcade. Here's where things get pretty interesting. Sega's been rebuilding its brand like crazy, and they clearly want to follow the playbook that Nintendo used with Super Nintendo World, which has been a smash hit. If that's the model, then Sonic could be next in line for his own immersive land or attraction. So, when could we see something, or when can we get some sort of update? No exact dates or announcements are set yet, but this feels like something in the early development stages, with announcements probably landing over the next 1 to 2 years. They could possibly wait to make an announcement until we get into the Sonic 4 movie marketing phase. The fourth movie trailer drops. That same week, they reveal that some sort of Sonic attraction is coming to one of the theme parks. Who knows? The bottom line is Sonic has the speed, the style, and the fan base to make a real splash wherever he goes. And if done right, this could be one of the next big character-driven experiences we see popping up. So, yeah, guys, Sonic is making his way to Universal. Sonic is making his way to theme parks soon. I did say that, this could end up in some smaller indoor attractions. It could be some kind of immersive arcade. But I think Sonic is actually going to end up at one of the big theme parks. Now, for the sake of speculation, since we are in the speculation mode today, I figured we could speculate a little bit on where Sonic could end up. So I have a couple different theories that I ranked by most likely to least likely. So where could Sonic actually end up? Let's rank the most likely homes for the Blue Blur when it comes to US theme parks. Number 1, this is what I think is the highest chance, the most likely to happen. Universal feels like the most natural fit. Roberta Perry, the same person helping lead these Sega projects, previously worked on Super Nintendo World at Epic Universe. Universal's already shown that they can bring video game IP to life in a big way, and Sonic fits right in with that high-energy, thrill-heavy vibe. The second most likely place for Sonic to land, in my opinion, is Six Flags/Cedar Fair. With the merger between Six Flags and Cedar Fair underway, this becomes a strong possibility. They've got a ton of parks across the country and a history of working with licensed IP, especially on the Six Flags side of things. Sonic could show up as a retheme of an existing coaster, or even a new land. The big question is, though, whether this would be a system-wide rollout or limited to one half of the company. So this is what I've been talking about with Six Flags. They need new IP. I sound like a broken record, but their IP is stale and old as F. They could use something like Sonic in their theme parks. Even if they just chose 4 of their flagship theme parks to create small mini Sonic lands in, that would be a huge plus for Six Flags Company. That would bring new life to these parks. It would be a breath of fresh air for these parks. It would give fans something to be excited about. It would show us that they're really trying and they're not going to be lazy with their IP anymore. I think it would be a hit. I really do. I think it'd be a smashing success. Would I rather end up at Universal? I actually think no. I think Universal is good with Nintendo. Let's give Six Flags something. Six Flags can take Sega. Who knows? Maybe this could lead to more Sega IP popping up at Six Flags in the future. And then the third possibility that I wrote down is a standalone Sonic attraction. It's also possible that Sonic doesn't land at a major theme park at all. Instead, Sega might go the route of a standalone experience, something like an indoor racing attraction, a themed arcade, or even a immersive VR or simulator-based experience. Think of it as a mini attraction or entertainment center focused entirely on Sonic. This one might come out of left field, but there is a high possibility for it. They could even spark up a collaboration with companies like Topgolf, Hero Zone VR, or any of those type of entertainment complexes that are all over the country. Those type of entertainment complexes are a growing industry in itself. It's a growing market in itself. You can see with the success of places like Topgolf and even some of these new, what are they called? Like these new escape room experiences that they have. All of that whole entire genre is blowing up. So I could see Sonic partnering up with one of those companies, or I could see them doing their own thing. Maybe they white label things. Maybe they collaborate with a company like Dave & Buster's to create their own restaurant/arcade experience. Who knows? But that's all I have for the Sonic story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know where you would like to see Sonic end up. And let's have some fun in the comments. Let's throw out some random ideas for Sonic-themed lands, rides, roller coasters, restaurants, VR experiences, whatever. I would love to hear some creative ideas from you guys about Sonic. So drop those in the comments and let's get the conversation going. Moving on to story number 3, a Terminator location-based VR experience is coming to 450 locations worldwide. All right, so here's something a little different, but still worth talking about. A company called Hero Zone VR just announced a huge new project, a global location-based VR experience called Terminator Uprising, based on Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It's launching in 450 locations across 46 countries this September. You might be saying to yourself, wait, what's location-based VR? Good question, as most people haven't tried this yet. Location-based virtual reality, or LBVR, is basically VR that happens at a dedicated physical spot like a VR arcade, mall, theme park, or cinema. Unlike your headset at home, these experiences use higher-end gear. They have more space to move around and sometimes even physical props or haptic vests to make it feel more immersive. Why is this a big deal for theme parks and entertainment fans? Because this Terminator game isn't some tiny pop-up. Hero Zone is already running around 150,000 plays a month on its other experiences. With Terminator being one of the first major Hollywood franchises to get this kind of wide-scale LBVR rollout, it's a sign that more IP-based immersive experiences are coming. Unlike some VR setups that charge a premium, Hero Zone says this one will stay affordable for operators, meaning it could pop up in more places near you without breaking the bank. This experience puts you right in the boots of a resistance fighter, battling Skynet's robot army in a free roam environment. According to the developers and Studio Canal, the focus is on authenticity, adrenaline, and accessibility. It all officially debuts this September at the IAAPA Expo Europe in Barcelona, and from there, expect it to hit locations around the world. It might not be a ride at Universal, but this could be one of the most exciting new ways for fans to engage with their favorite franchises, and a sneak peek at where location-based entertainment is headed. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't like VR. It pretty much makes me sick every time I've ever tried it, so I don't like VR. I've really never cared for Terminator 2. So this story doesn't really pique my interest. Obviously, I'm a theme park enthusiast. I love things that involve theme parks. But I did want to get this story out there because I do believe a lot of people would be excited about this in the theme park space. And what's more interesting to me is the location-based VR experience. Could this be a new technology that they continue to improve on and gets introduced into theme parks in the future? I think it's a high possibility, especially for some of these regional theme parks, maybe even like the Cedar Fair, Six Flags theme parks. I could see them adapting this type of attraction at their parks to fill up some space, to get some major IP a part of their franchise. And with something like this, you don't have to take up acres and acres and acres of land like a roller coaster would or a dark ride would. With this, you can get some kind of warehouse looking building and put the experience in there, and boom, there you go. You're good to go. So the VR, the location-based VR is definitely intriguing. I just wish they would make a way where we can experience it without getting sick, because that would be awesome. I want to enjoy VR. I really, really do. When PlayStation VR came out like 10 years ago, the first one, I was one of the first people to buy it and pre-order it. And unfortunately, I was so let down because most of the games made me brutally sick. Like, I would play for 10 minutes and that would be it for me for the rest of the day. I would have to go to bed. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this experience. Let me know what you think about Terminator VR. Let me know what you think about location-based VR. Maybe you have some kind of cool idea that theme parks or entertainment spots can do with that technology. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, let's move on to our fourth and final featured story of the week. This one is going to be on the shorter side, and I'm going to breeze right through it. Elon Musk's Boring Company may build a tunnel to Epic Universe. Maybe. This is all speculation at this point. Once again, guys, we're doing a lot of speculation this week. This is all speculation at this point, but still worth keeping on the radar. Elon's Boring Company, the company behind the underground Vegas loop where Teslas zip around at over 100 miles per hour, is reportedly in very early talks to build a similar tunnel system in Orlando. This new tunnel could possibly be connecting Universal's Epic Universe to the original Universal Orlando campus across I-4. Instead of taking a shuttle or bus, you could hop into a self-driving Tesla and cruise underground between parks in minutes. And it wouldn't just stop at Universal. Local business leaders are talking about potential expansion to the iDrive resorts, the convention center, and even the airport in the long-term vision. But let's be real, this is a big maybe right now. The biggest issue is Orlando's water table. Unlike Vegas, building underground here is a whole different beast. Orlando gets daily rainstorms, soggy soil, and a ton of underground water to deal with. So that could be a huge challenge to get this tunnel system going. Again, this has not been confirmed and it is all rumors and speculation. But if it does actually happen, it could seriously change how people move around Orlando theme parks. All right, so my opinion on this real quick before we move on to the next segment. I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's going to be too difficult to put underground tunnels in Orlando. Like I mentioned in the story there, you've got the underground water in Orlando could be a major hurdle for them. I just think it's going to cost way too much money to justify it. And if they were to do this, let's say they were to push forward and do this, this would probably be like a 10-year commitment for construction, right? This has to be at minimum a 10-year plan for them. I don't know how long it took them to get this going in Vegas, but When you throw in all the hurdles of Orlando being on Swampland, it's going to take a very long time. All right, guys, that's it for our featured news stories of the week. I hope you enjoy them. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you guys think of all of those topics. We will be moving on to the express lane next. But before we do get to that segment, we do have some housekeeping to get to. Real quick, if you're not following me on social media yet, please give me a follow at Theme Pahk Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It goes a long way. And if you are an audio-only listener, please give us a 5-star review. That goes a long way as well. Anything else in housekeeping for you? No, I think that might be it. We got the express lane coming up. I'm just going to take a quick sip and we'll jump right into it. All right, guys, let's keep things moving. It is now time for our express lane segment, the rapid fire rundown, where we serve up quick hits of park news, rumors, and updates you need to know. Some of these I won't spend much time on, so if they interest you, you may want to dive deeper with your own research. Others might spark a rant or a deep dive, but we'll see how things go. Starting with some spooky season updates. Knott's Scary Farm is back for a 2025 season. Tickets go on sale July 25th with events running select nights from September 18th to November 1st. The full lineup drops at their Nightmares Revealed event on August 19th, and tickets to that go for $35. And then moving on, Howl-O-Scream returns to SeaWorld Orlando for its 5th year. This year's event includes 5 haunted houses. 3 of them will be brand new, plus 6 scare zones, 5 themed bars, and 2 live shows, including the return of the Monster Stomp. The event kicks off September 5th and runs select nights through November 1st. All right, moving on to some Halloween Horror Nights news. The worst kept secret of the year is finally official. Art the Clown is coming to HHN. Universal just confirmed a brand new Terrifier haunted house based on the cult slasher franchise that's been ruining people's sleep since 2008. You'll step into Art's grotesque funhouse, first seen in Terrifier 2, packed with gore, iconic kills, nightmare fuel, and even a twisted holiday scene. It opens August 29th at Universal Orlando and September 4th in Hollywood. And with Terrifier 4 on the way, this might be HHN's most disturbing house yet. Another Halloween Horror Nights update for you. This one just dropped right before I started recording today. The first official Scare Zone announcement. This one is called The Origins of Horror. This is what they wrote for the little description that they put online. Enter a decaying conservatory of twisted vines where artists carve tributes to Halloween Horror Nights 34. You'll encounter monstrous crows, gargoyles, and more. I said it before, gargoyles are my shit. I can't wait to see some giant gargoyles in that scare zone. Gonna be super sick. And moving on, we're sticking with some Universal news. Here is some more non-spooky updates. Orlando Informer's winter meetup tickets are on sale now and they won't last long. The after hours event at Universal Orlando gives you exclusive nighttime access to both parks with little to no waits. Over 25 rides and unlimited food and non-alcoholic drinks are included. You will be getting access to top attractions like Escape from Gringotts, Jurassic Park River Adventure, and E.T. Plus, both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley will be a part of it. The event runs on select dates, November 14th and 15th. Then they've got another block in November for the 21st and 22nd. And then in December, they got the 5th and 6th and the 12th and 13th. The parks are decked out for the holidays and crowd levels are kept low so you can explore, eat, and ride more with less stress. Tickets and full details are up at orlandoinformer.com. I've never been to a Orlando Informer meetup, but they sound like a ton of fun. If you're somebody who is looking to get on all the rides and to have like just an outrageous, crazy experience, this is probably for you. If you're looking for something a little extra special for your next trip to the Universal parks, I highly recommend Orlando Informers Meetup, just based off of all the reviews and comments I've seen over the years about this. And it seems like it continues to get better and better every year. So I would highly recommend that. If you want more information on this, go to orlandoinformer.com. All right, 2 more Universal stories for you. This one is out of Epic Universe. Epic Universe has added new shaded cooling areas around Celestial Park, perfect for escaping that brutal Florida sun. All right, so here's where you will find these new cooling areas. One of them is at the Cosmos Fountain. The other is by the Stardust Racers restrooms, and there's one next to the Future Restaurants seating areas. I believe it's when you first walk into the park and you take a right. There are some restaurant buildings that have not opened yet, but they have put some cooling areas in that area. I said areas way too much. Each spot includes shade and an industrial cooling fan to help you chill out between rides. I love seeing Universal adding these cooling stations at their theme parks. A couple of weeks ago, we seen that they put one at Islands of Adventure, and now we have 3 of them at Epic Universe, which has been much needed because a lot of people have been complaining that Epic Universe is way too hot and there is not enough shade, especially at Celestial Park. Well, now you've got some shading areas to go chill out at. So, yeah. If anybody goes to any of these shading areas, let me know how they are. The final story for Universal in the Express Lane is a bit of an interesting one. I found this on Reddit the other day. I'm not going to read the entire thing that this Reddit user said. I will show it on the screen now if you guys want to pause and read what he said or she said. But here is the basic rundown of the story. A guest was stuck in an elevator at Endless Summer Resort's Dockside Inn. A guest shared on Reddit that they got stuck in an elevator during their stay. The power went out and the help button didn't work, and they barely had any cell service, so they couldn't call a family member or the front desk. Then after 30 minutes, this person was really starting to freak out. And I would be freaking out too. Could you imagine you're stuck on an elevator? The one thing that you're hoping that you can count on to save you, which is the help button, doesn't even work. But after 30 minutes, they pried the doors open themselves and escaped the elevator. The resort ended up giving them meal vouchers, but the elevator was still down as of July 13th. So that's yesterday. I don't know if the elevator is working yet. But, yo, what the F, Universal? That's messed up. How are you not going to have the help button working on your elevator? Sheesh. All right, guys, we are now jumping into the Disney updates in the Express Lane. Disney's Christmas season is already taking shape. Starting with this first one, there is a new winter 2025 Disney World hotel discount that just dropped. And this actually counts for late fall too, but here we go. Guests can save up to 20% on rooms and score a $100 dining and shopping card when booking 4-day park tickets. Valid for most nights between October 12th and December 25th, with bookings open now. And that is all being done right through Disney World's own website. So you don't have to go through any third parties on that one. Next one is Disney World's holiday lineup for 2025 is mostly sticking to the hits. You've got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Jollywood Nights, and Epcot's Festival of the Holidays, all returning between November 7th and December 31st. Full event calendars are expected to drop very soon. Next, the new Disney Starlight Parade will not be performing during Christmas party nights, just like with Not So Scary, but it will still run throughout the rest of the holiday season. So I just want to put that on your radar because I know this Disney Starlight Parade is a major hit. If you're making plans to go check this out, you might want to make sure that it's not during a Christmas party night because it will not be running. And the last holiday, the last Disney holiday update that I have for you, holiday staples like Jingle Cruise and the Frozen Holiday Surprise are back too. Elsa will once again transform Cinderella Castle nightly, And Main Street will be decked out as always with lights, wreaths, and a photo pass spot. So that's it for the holiday Disney updates, but I do have some more Disney news for you. Over on the Disney Plus streaming service, the Disneyland POV ride videos premiere this Thursday. I did mention this a couple of weeks ago that this was coming up. I just wanted to give you guys a reminder. This Thursday, you can jump on the Disney Plus app and check out these brand new Disneyland POV ride videos. What they are exactly, I don't know. Are they any different than the millions of POV videos we can find on YouTube? Who knows? I'm hoping that they do give us a little bit of something extra in these videos. But we'll have to see, and I will report on what they end up being. I'll check it out on Thursday. Next one, DVC members can now preview Test Track with no hotel stay required. Disney reversed its earlier policy. Now, all Disney Vacation Club members can register for a preview of the newly updated ride at Epcot, even without a resort reservation. Pass holder previews run July 13th to the 19th with a virtual queue available at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. daily. I do want to let you know that these are hard to get. And it ends in a couple of days. It ends on the 19th, so it ends this week. These are hard to get. I've been seeing people complaining. If you're going to the parks specifically for this, go into it knowing you might not get on that preview Test Track ride. That will do it for my Disney updates. And I have one final thing to mention in the segment here. Circus in Vegas is running big summer deals. If you have plans to be in Vegas, you might want to check this out. From now through August 10th, get 50% off wristbands when buying on site. They're also running a promo where one full price wristband earns 4 free junior passes, and midway games are halfway off daily from 12 to 3 p.m. That's it for the Express Lane this week. We're moving on to the next segment. It's a brand new segment I'm introducing to the show. I don't have a cool name for it yet. I don't know if we're going to keep doing this every week. I think this might end up being something that comes in here and there, but basically it's a thoughts and opinions piece. It'll have a different topic every week. This week, the topic is, or even the question is, are solo theme park trips the most underrated way to vacation? All right, so check it out. Let me know what you guys think of all this. Lately, I've noticed more and more people are talking about or even showing off their solo theme park trips online. And I'm not just talking about pass holders doing a quick loop through Epcot and going back home. No. I'm talking about full-on multi-day vacations by yourself at places like Disney and Universal. Honestly, we need to talk about this. It is a super underrated way to go on vacation. I recently did 3 solo days at Universal, and I've got to admit, it gave me a completely different experience than I've ever had at a theme park. That alone made it worth trying. Before I get into this, let me just say, going to parks with family and friends will always be the gold standard. Nothing beats creating memories with your loved ones. Unless, of course, your friends and family are the worst. Then, yeah, maybe go solo every single time. But assuming that they are not, solo trips will never top those shared experiences. Solo trips just offer a different experience that's also worth checking out. All right, so let me actually break this down for you and get into why solo trips are kind of awesome. First up, freedom. You do what you want when you want. Do you want a rope drop and run straight over to Haunted Mansion and run it 20 times in a row? Go for it. No one's judging your slightly weird obsession. Have fun. Or maybe you're like me and you don't really care for rope drops. Maybe you want to stay out late the night before, sleep in, and stroll into the park at 2 p.m. Guess what? That's your call. No one is stopping you. Another big one, budget control and flexibility. Solo trips are often way cheaper. You're not buying extra food, extra Genie Pluses, or splitting the cost of something you didn't even really want to do. You can stay off property and hit up a cheap eats, or you can flip this the other way and splurge like crazy. Go big. Do everything you've ever wanted to do. You control 100% of the trip. And then there's the part that people don't mention enough, the peace. You actually get to slow down and take it all in. Sit on a bench, grab a snack, and watch your favorite roller coaster fly by a few times. It becomes this weirdly zen experience, almost therapeutic. Find your chill spot and just vibe. But let's be real, there are downsides. If you're extremely introverted, you might feel a little awkward boarding next to random families. For me, I can be introverted sometimes too, but a friendly smile and a quick hello usually breaks the ice. Honestly, I've had some great conversations with people in lines and on rides. And if you're super social, this might be a chance for you to make new friends. Still, being alone in the theme parks can feel, well, lonely, especially if you're used to sharing those big magical moments with someone else. It takes a bit of a mind shift to be fully okay with just being there for you. But here's the thing, solo trips are becoming more common for a reason. More people are traveling on their own. Parks are more accommodating than ever, and there's something really special about experiencing the magic just for you. So if you've ever considered it, maybe you've got a random weekday off or a business trip nearby, don't write it off. You might just discover a whole new way to enjoy the parks. Let me know what you think in the comments about taking solo trips to theme parks. Let me know if you have any cool strategies, any cool game plans that you've come up with to capitalize on this. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, I did 3 solo days at Universal Studios about 2 months ago. Was it 2 months ago? Yeah, 2 months ago. And I had so much fun. But I think the biggest perk above all was just being able to do whatever I wanted. This past trip to Universal, I had a long list of things that I needed to do that I have not done ever or I haven't done in quite some time. So for that first day at Universal, I got to spend it just checking off. Ooh, sorry, just hit the microphone. I got to spend it checking off all the things on that list. And I had so much fun. I was speed walking all over the place. I didn't have to worry about the family trying to keep up with me. I didn't have to worry about parking the stroller. I didn't have to worry about who's got to put what in a locker or who's hungry now and who's hungry later. It was all on my time. And I had an absolute blast. So you might want to consider going to a theme park alone, even if it's just for a day. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. All right, guys, we are moving along. What time is it? It is 1:30. Wow, been recording for an hour and a half. Time flies by when I'm recording. It's absolutely insane. For you guys, it hasn't been an hour and a half, and that's because I mess up a lot. So I have to keep re-recording parts. All right, guys, the reaction segment is officially back. Last week, I ran out of time, but this week, I've got more time for you. So we're going to react to some videos that I have recently come across. The first one is on Reddit. This was posted from Universal Hollywood. It's posted from March -6782. They filmed a video of everything at Super Nintendo World being frozen. Everything froze at Super Nintendo World. Let's watch this video real quick. It's just 12 seconds. It almost looks... There's something very unnerving about watching this video. I'm so used to seeing this place have so much kinetic energy that it's so weird to me to see everything staying in place. That is pretty crazy. I wonder how long that lasted. Let's read what the user said. Something set off the fire alarm and everything froze. All the music, sound effects throughout all of the buildings stopped as well. Every light went to full brightness. All the question mark blocks and tap points stopped responding and all the screens and displays went black. Oh, and they fixed it after about 10 minutes. Wow. Top comment. Someone had to pull out the cartridge and blow in it. Oh man, that's hilarious. All right. And then what else do I have to react to you? Here's a cool one. The flying dragons at Epic Universe have returned. And I'm not talking about any kind of flying dragons. I'm talking about new flying dragons. So one of the earlier episodes of the podcast, I covered a interview that a Universal creative member had with some sort of news outlet. and they were talking about the flying drones that are going to be happening at Epic Universe that haven't debuted yet, but have been seen. Back then, what we did see, what was captured on video, I'm showing it now on the screen, those were prototype dragons. And in the interview, the creative member said, we have something even more special. The real dragons, the actual dragons that will be flying in the sky are even crazier, are even better. And it looks like we are finally getting our first glance at those dragons. The Thrill Demon on Reddit posted this video here. Let's check it out. All right, guys, this is my first time seeing this. Let's just remember that this is testing, okay? This isn't the final product. I see some dragon wings, but it's mostly the tech that is visible. So clearly, this is not the final product. This is not the final flying dragon drone. This is them testing their tech, making sure everything works. I'm sure the final result will actually look like a dragon. As far as its movements go, you know what? The movements look pretty good. The movements look pretty decent. It's flying in a circle. It doesn't look shady. It doesn't look sketchy. There are a shit ton of propellers on this thing, or whatever you call those things. So hopefully they find a way to cover those up a little bit, because it just seems like it's way too much. But hey, I'm happy to see them testing these new drones. Back a couple of weeks ago when I covered the drones, I mentioned that I don't think these will debut for at minimum a year. I'm going to stick to that. I don't think we're going to see the final result in the sky for a good year, or maybe even more than that. I just think this is something that's really hard to get done. You have to make sure that it's safe. You have to make sure it's safe to fly above crowds, above the public. You really want to make sure that this thing is 150% good to go before you throw it up there on a consistent basis. I believe Universal had some sort of malfunction with their drones before. I believe it happened last year where drones fell from the sky. So I'm sure they're going to be super, super careful with the launch of these Dragon drones. They have been in development for like 8 years already. I don't think they're going to ditch the idea. I think they want to get this done. It's just going to take some time. Next video for me to react to. Speaking of drones, we've got our Epcot Dumbass of the Week. This seems to be a reoccurring segment where some dumbass does something stupid at Epcot. This week, a park guest was caught illegally flying a drone over the World Showcase Lagoon in Epcot. First off, how did they get a drone into Epcot? That's what I want to know. How did they get a drone in? How did they get the controller in? These are things that security is usually on top of. So interesting to see that they snuck this in. All right, let's check this out. Yep, full-blown drone going over the lagoon. Let me kill this music. And then here is it going right over the guests, right over the walkways, the paths. And here's the guy controlling it. How did he sneak this thing in with that bag and all? It's so obvious what he has. Yeah, looks like we got undercover security or somebody, some kind of park employee, an employee coming up to him. It looks like an employee of some sort coming up to him and letting him know, hey, dude, you're a dumbass. Take that drone down right now. All right, that's that, people. What else do we have here? Cyclops derails. Cyclops at Mount Olympus derailed. Somebody has footage of it. They posted it on Reddit. Thought it would be interesting to check out. Let's throw the audio on. Here, so it's already derailed by the time the video starts. They're getting evacuated off.
All right, cool. This is insane.
Doesn't look like it's derailed.
First ride of the day. Yep, it derailed.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry. I'm not trying to get in the way. Yeah, this is crazy. Definitely the jankiest park in America. That's insane. First ride of the day. And Cyclops derailed. And I'm just...
He said the jankiest theme park in America. That's hilarious. And here you can see it's derailed right off the track. Not looking good for the jankiest theme park in America. Here is something else for me to react to. Video. Walt Disney Imagineering shares new look inside the Beacon Barrel Map Maker's room, hand-carved boots, and more. A new social media video from Walt Disney World Imagineering has shared a brand new look inside the upcoming Pirates-themed tavern at Magic Kingdom, the Beak and the Barrel. The video was shared on the official Instagram account. So you can see, guys, things are coming along for this adult tavern opening. I believe it's supposed to open this year. In fact, I thought it was supposed to open in July, but I don't think they're ready. Let's see if anything is said. So there you can see some detailed wood carvings into the bar, I believe that is. There's some more. Looks pretty badass. There's Jack. It looks like Jack. Yep. Captain Jack is featured in at least 3 carvings, with a third representing one of his appearances aboard the Pirates attraction. That's pretty cool. There's this area right here, this wall right here, where it looks like a cannonball was shot into it and destroyed part of the wall. There's like a hole in the wall and everything. That looks super rad. The next area is just left of the main bar, dubbed the Map Maker's Room. Here, the new theming has been added to the walls to illustrate where pirates had to literally blow their way into the locked room with cannonballs. Super cool. I like that. Very, very cool storytelling with the way they designed this tavern here. And here's some concept art that they released a while ago of what this place will look like when it's all finished. I don't see the hole in the wall, unless this is the hole in the wall right there. But no, I think this is just leading to the back of the area, of the back of the bar. Maybe that looks like maybe the front entrance. Oh, you know what? That actually might be the hole in the wall from the cannonball that leads to the map room. I think there is a full video that we can watch too. Yep. Let's watch the full video.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Beak and Barrel. Follow me. I'm going to take you into the captain's quarters to get a sneak peek here at our booths. It's been a while since you've been here with us, and we've made a lot of progress since then. Each one of the booths in the captain's quarters tells a different story about all of the pirate lords. Our graphic designers and our interior designers did a really great job putting these stories together, and we had them hand carved, so we can't wait for you guys to get a closer look.
Monty, can I interrupt you?
Go for it.
I want to show you one of my favorite spots of the bar. Come on. We are just left of the main bar, leading into the mapmaker's room. Here, you can see where the pirates needed to blast their way into this room, which had been locked. We are still very much in progress, but you see this damage that was left over by the cannonball blasts. And you actually can see some of the cannonballs still left in these walls.
Does it say when it's set to open yet? The Beacon and Barrel has not set an opening date yet, but it's still scheduled to open sometime this year. Well, there you have it. Not opening anytime soon, but still scheduled by the end of the year on that one. All right, guys, that is it for the podcast today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sticking with me for the whole episode if you're still here. I really do appreciate you guys. Like I said at the top of the episode, we have a lot of new subscribers. Hopefully this episode brings us even more new subscribers, and hopefully the YouTube algorithm gods continue to push the podcast. Let me just pray for that a little bit. If you have any ideas for topics or some videos for me to react to, feel free to leave a comment. If you're not following on social media yet, please do so. I'm on TikTok and Instagram. The username is at Theme Pahk Pod. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show today. If you're listening on podcast platforms, give me a 5-star review. That also goes a long way. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week. Peace out.